the city like I am. And I'm like, I see now. Trying. Think I could like zip line.
Honestly, a peacock would make a great fucking police animal. Those fuckers are aggressive as hell.
Well, imagine
they'll
how
beat the shit out of you.
It would be to have a police peacock, right? Like a police cock, a polycock,
a polycock,
a polycock.
Huh?
Just imagine though, like you have the police peacock stoned, and you send it into like drug dens.
Sure.
And wait like until you're sure most of the people inside are stoned, and then you just have this peacock fucking showing up.
You know, I recall this tangent.
Happened? Like,
yeah.
Am I seeing a peacock here? This can't be real. Wait, fucker survived the fall?
I recall this whole tangent kind of started with you being like, I've never even touched a weed. So, like, where was that going?
I just never done. Like,
okay.
A fun little detail to share.
Okay. I smoked a lot of weed when I lived in Washington, because it's legal up there. You can they have dispensaries where you can just walk in and be like, I would like this weed, and they're like, okay, give us about 5 minutes. Here you go. Here's your prescription. Ding. And it's not like a medical card. It is recreational, but they still have to treat it like it's a medical thing for fucking, I don't know, reasons. I'm not a weedsman. But yeah, it was fun. I won't lie, like, marijuana is very fun, and as has been stated many times, it's honestly nowhere near as bad for you as alcohol, which I drink plenty of, or cigarettes, which I don't even know why anybody ever did that. That shit's horrible for you, and you don't even get the fun of getting high with that. But yeah.
You heard it here first, folks. Smoke marijuana instead.
Yeah. I mean, to put it succinctly, smoke weed every day.
Smoke weed.
Kid 2K17. Yeah, no, I don't fucking care. Why? It's practically legal everywhere at this point, anyways.
Yeah, it's
like,
gonna be before too long.
Like, I would say technically the healthier way to do it is with edibles. You definitely have to treat it a lot differently in that way, because if you do edibles, there's a much longer lead time. Like, they're gonna be a lot stronger, and it's gonna take a lot longer to kick in. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they're able to. I've actually made edibles. Like the first time I ever got high were off of edibles that I actually made. I made like an orange cake with weed butter.
Isn't that called
GHE? G? Oh no, that's just clarified butter.
I like it when it's clarified. I don't want that confused butter.
I'm not, I don't get...
What is this butter?
I don't fucking get it. So he was like in a computer the whole time? Dude, it's the fucking Matrix butter. It's not that hard to fucking understand, but like... So he was in the computer, but then he was back in the real world. No, that's the fake. That's the computer world, Butter. Come on.
Come on, Butters. Get up. Get with it.
Get with it. I would say, like, it's worth trying at least once to see if you like it. And I will say I did it many times before I ever got high off of marijuana. And once I got into more or less the habit of it, it was... fantastic. But there's also the thing that when I was doing it, I was working a very shitty job, so I'd basically get home, smoke weed, eat way too many snacks, and pass out, and it was really making me avoid, you know, getting my voiceover stuff started or doing any of the projects I wanted to. It just became like a crutch to be like, well, I can at least feel happy for a bit by spending $50 a week on this shit. But in reality, I was just kind of avoiding my problems and like my endeavors to have some basic chemical happiness. So like, to have it, enjoy it, you know, do whatever if you can get it legally, which is how I did. But don't let your hooray, we did it. Well, you did it. I'm just talking about weed. But just like,
Bobby, are you smoking the marijuana?
It's okay, Dad.
Dad.
A lot of guys are into it now. You like that, Bobby? Is that spot on?
Bobby. Bobby.
Bobby.
That boy ain't right.
Boy, I'm about to shove my foot up your ass sideways.
You really can't do it.
No, I can't.
Accent. Damn it, Bobby. Oh.
Everybody does that one though. I don't like I don't do a lot of fucking impressions, but if I were to focus on one to do it, I would not want to do one that everybody does. Like, oh great, another Christopher Walken.
Fucking
In fact,
assholes.
Billy West, to point out, he's like, why would I want to do another Christopher Walken when I can do a fucking fuck, who was it from Golden Girls? B.
Arthur.
Yeah, B. Arthur. He does a great B. Arthur, or he does like a Lucille Ball. That's fantastic. That he did. He would do it on Howard Stern. They'd like call him, and he was supposed to act like he was Lucille Ball in the hospital at Cedars-Sinai, and he's just like calling like, hello, we're trying to talk to Lucy. Who are you? Why do you keep calling? We're trying to talk to Lucy. Why do I keep answering?
My favorite.
How big was Desi Arnaz's penis? Oh, quit calling me.
My favorite Billy West thing is when he reads Trump quotes as Zap.
Oh, that works so well. Either that or fucking Mark Hamill as the Joker doing it. Yeah. It worked so well, and it's scary.
Like, Trump is one of the few impressions I actually can't do well.
Yeah.
And I'm not terribly upset.
Well, most people do it fucking terribly because none of them give him a fucking accent. He's from New York, born and bred. He has a very thick New York accent, and nobody gives him that. Like, most of the impressions.
He doesn't really have it, though. Like, he has this weird, like...
Well, he does. He just doesn't have the accent most people understand as a New York accent. Like,
his New York accent is so light that it's more of it's a breathy, throaty kind of thing, and it's very huge. And that's literally just the word huge.
A lot of it comes down to just the pronunciations he does for stuff like that.
But he doesn't have an accent. He has.
He also, people do him kind of weirdly, like high pitched and nasal as well. But he does actually have a pretty decently deep voice. Like, he actually sounds pretty gruff if you listen to him.
Like, it's just that, like, his voice doesn't fucking make sense because it really doesn't sound rough. It sounds fucking, like, dumb as shit.
Well, yeah, but I don't know, he sounds like he's an old fucking man who's just beat the shit out of himself, treating himself like garbage. Like, he thinks he lives healthy. He does not.
You know what he genuinely believes?
What?
What's happening out there?
Genuinely believes
Respond immediately.
that the human body only has a certain amount of energy in it, like a battery.
Yeah.
And that if he were to work out and take care of himself, he would expend that energy faster and die sooner.
It's not. I mean, that was one of the things is, like, I remember, like, there was an interview with one of the fucking editors from The Apprentice, and they were like, yeah, our biggest job was just editing it to make it look like whoever he fired deserved it. Because in reality, most of the time, his reasoning made no sense. Like, it was just baffling, like, nonsense, and we just had to figure out, like, did they do anything bad there? I don't know, they like, tripped at this one point. Let's make it look like they tripped and, like, stabbed somebody. I don't fucking know. We need to make it look like he fired them for any reason that makes sense. Like, he's just a fucking crazy person. To get back to Billy West, lighter topics, one of the more interesting things about him is that he can do a perfect impression of all of the Three Stooges and their subsidiary Stooges. To the point.
There are multiple Stooges. There's more than three.
Yeah, I know, but like,
Shemp, there's Curly.
yeah, he can do them all. That's what I'm saying. Is like he can do all the various ships. Fuck, I haven't heard him do fake Shemp, but I'm sure he could because he's obsessed with it. Like, to the point where when they did that like Stooges movie a few years back
with Will Sasso as
he was Billy West was their acting coach because he was so obsessed with the Stooges that he knew everything about them and like all these things. Like the thing that he pointed out was like, like I told Will Sasso, whenever like they would take off running like into another scene, Curly would always be going like a little bit he'd be going after them and be like, "Oh, wait for me, guys." The reason is because he shot himself, like in real life, he shot himself in the foot when he was 14, so he couldn't run as fast as the other ones. So that was just a genuine thing that he told him to do to be like accurate to the Stooges. Like just shit like that, like stuff, and he's that obsessed with it.
I mean, Billy West is just a super professional.
Yeah. You really need to listen to his podcast. There's one point where his character Jairaj is like, "I think I'm gonna get into the voiceover realm. This shit looks easy. You just talk." And then he just like airs out like all of this shit. Like, God, unemployment is rampant. Like, there's guys left and right who are super talented who can't fucking make it. And he just like talks about like all of his woes with the voiceover industry. And it's really great to hear.
What really fucks me up is when I hear his normal voice.
Really?
Yeah, because it sounds so much like Doug.
Yeah, no, Doug was just like not that far off, and in fact, Fry is really just like him when he was younger. He said that like that's basically Fry is just him when he was like 25.
And like, what gets me is Zoidberg.
Yeah.
I can do a shitty Farnsworth, but
Sure.
Good news, everyone. I can't do it right now. Fuck it. And that's the thing.
It's late.
Like, people hear you say, "Oh, I can't do it right now. I can't do the voice right now," and they think that's a bullshit thing. Like,
no,
you do it. Like, no, you really have to have.
I can tell you, as a fucking working voiceover professional, there's so many like factors to it. Like, literally, I'll have times where it's like, "Can you do a revision for this line?" It's like, okay, and I'll record the sentence and I'll edit it in, and it's like, it's really obvious. It's like it's edited perfectly. It's very obvious. It sounds almost like two different people, just because my like small factors and like how like much energy I have in my voice and stuff has changed.
Like the amount of phlegm in your throat will change it.
Yeah, just tiny it's all these little factors.
My nose is a little bit stuffed up right now, so I can't do Farnsworth. And you tell somebody, like, I can't do the voice right now, and they'll just look at you like you're full of shit.
Yeah.
Like, no, I genuinely can't do the fucking voice.
Like, even, like, waking up this morning after recording this so much yesterday, I just generally sing at random points all the time because fucking it's fun. But, I couldn't hit the high notes I usually would be able to because my voice was so tired, and it wasn't until it had warmed up and woken up more that I was able to like I usually do.
Did you ever hear, like, Danny when he first took on doing Game Grumps?
Oh yeah, no, I was. Here's the thing: is up until just like the beginning of 2016, I watched Game Grumps religiously, every single episode since the very first one, every day.
I heard Danny talk about then how he didn't realize just how much work goes into an episode.
Yeah.
Because like he thought, oh, it's just talking. I can just talk.
Right.
He never realized there's so much more to it than just talking.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you think, well, yeah, this thing can do a lot with a show. No, it really is just so much more than just sitting here and talking. Like, when I do it alone, oh god, my alone shows suck.
They're really hard.
Like, I don't like doing it alone.
It's really hard to come up with anything interesting to say on your own.
And, like, I don't know whether people want me to talk over the fucking cutscenes.
Well, that's the thing, is you kind of have to just decide which you want to do and stay consistent with it, because some people are going to love it and some people are going to hate it, and there's no way to know. So you kind of just have to pick one, and then that's just your style. And the people who like it are going to like it, and the people who don't aren't, and you're just not going to please everybody. You just have to make sure that they'll like be expecting you to do it the way you do. And if just wait for feedback. You know, if eventually somebody's like, "Hey, I don't like that you do that," or "Hey, I do."
I've been getting no feedback on my shit from anybody.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's the thing is, yeah, it takes a while before you get anything.
I'm getting so few views on shit, and like the only comments I'm getting are either from spam bots or people saying, "I love your videos, great work. Feel free to stop by my channel anytime."
Oh, same. Yeah, I've been doing actually an audiobook series of Goosebumps for the last few weeks, where because what I do is to warm up every day before I work, is I'll read a chapter of Goosebumps. It's a few pages. It usually has a number of characters, so it's a good way to warm up for narration, which is most of my work.
I would suggest you do that.